Yeah, he wants to wait till it comes back.
He wants to wait until it comes back and then report to us what that means and what appropriate action he feels we should do.
Well, I don't think it needs to come back to us. What I'm saying is if it comes back, that they have done something wrong, could you not amend it to where the law director could act immediately without coming back to me?
Well, I guess if Commissioner Moore would amend his motion that given the law director to use his discretion as to whether or not to pursue it, but I don't think that's what Commissioner Moore wants to do.
That's exactly right. I think the law director probably doesn't need our opinion to proceed if he sees something that's illegal, nor does the district attorney general in this case need our opinion or need our letter or anything else. But I think for us to represent the taxpayers of this county, that we've got to be accountable and responsible to all of them. And I think if we know something is done improper, that now it's time for us to say, hey guys, just for the pure sake of putting the money back to where it belongs, and that's to the taxpayers, that we go ahead and ask them to pay it back. And if they don't, then I think the law director or anybody else can proceed with or without us.
I don't disagree with you, Commissioner Moore, but I do agree with the law director that we do need to wait until the audit is finished, and before we go down that path, I think for the legal basis and just making sure that we have all our T's crossed and our I's dotted before, because this might involve litigation, and I'd hate to hurt our case if that is what happens. So
the audit is going to be turned over to the county commission. Mr. Wallace, who are you going to turn the audit over to? You're making certain recommendations within your audit.
It'll be addressed to the county commission.
That's right. And so the county commission will be able to address it at its next meeting. If that occurs on August 27 or September 24, whichever it is, the facts aren't going to change. They are what they are. So I don't know why. I mean, I understand Commissioner Moore's statement, but the audit still needs to be completed first. You need to let your auditor do the work. He is the Knox County Internal Auditor. He is working with the cooperation of the State Comptroller's Office. Let them do their work and then see what the final product is before you take any action. That would be my suggestion.
any further discussion? Commissioner Norman, you did have your light on. Did you have anything to add? Motion on the floor is to defer until after we receive the report from the internal auditor. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We got 2 noes. Motion passes. Law Director wish to have a moment to discuss something with us. Mr. Law Director?
All right. The Sunshine Law lawsuits are now, there are 3. Let me just kind of bring you up to date, tell you where we are. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon on January 31, a Sunshine lawsuit was filed. That lawsuit was later dismissed on our motion for summary judgment. We felt like that we had a good motion before the court, and the court had agreed. We set out then to defend the county as to the other lawsuit, the lawsuit filed by the News Sentinel's editor, and we did that. We filed a motion for summary judgment. We argued that motion a week ago before the court. About 3 days later, the court, and we argued that the News Sentinel's lawsuit should be dismissed because it was collaterally estopped. The issues had been determined in the previous suit, the one filed by Mr. Monsieur. The court, 3 days after we argued that motion with that ground, went back and reopened the previous case and reopened those grounds and basically mooted our collateral estoppel argument. The court then last week, in an opinion that the court dictated in open court, determined that our motion for summary judgment should be denied, that there were issues of material fact that should be adjudicated. So, in addition to that, we had another hearing last week, and the court looked at the other two lawsuits. I forgot to mention that after the other lawsuit was, after the first lawsuit was dismissed, another one was filed about a week later by the same attorney. So we now have 3 active lawsuits which are going to be combined. The other 2 lawsuits, their attorney was allowed to intervene in the new Sentinel lawsuit. So now we have 3 that are set for trial beginning September the 11th. The court is going to call in a jury on September the 10th. The court is calling in all of their jurors on September the 10th, and that's about 325 jurors, I believe, to consider these lawsuits. They will be heard together. They will be heard before a jury. A jury will decide the matters that are addressed in those suits, and that is whether this body on January 31 violated the Open Meetings Act. We anticipate that the trial will take at least 3 weeks. The court has already advised us that it will be patient because the plaintiffs will first try their case, and they'll call however many witnesses they wish to call.